I mean, all you got to do is just look at the fact with this picture, the line goes across the eyes of the two side by sides, and clearly the eyes and the ear placement are definitely different. This is not the same person. All right, guys, we got a very interesting one. Now, listen, I hate to get into these conspiracy theory type videos because it's hard to prove them, but this is one of those situations that you got to be pretty dumb to not understand that the person that they are now claiming is Ghislane Maxwell is clearly not. I'm going to show you all the photo evidence of the real one and the fake one and why it is not the same person. So who is Ghislane Maxwell? We all know she was the only co-conspirator to Jeffrey Epstein to actually get convicted and thrown in prison. But she's also the daughter of the most notorious Israeli spy, Robert Maxwell, a guy who helped steal nuclear secrets from the United States and give them to Israel. And she is the daughter. A lot of people, in fact, say that Ghislane Maxwell was the Mossad handler. And it makes a lot of sense due to the fact that her family connections are what they are. They just put somebody up that is clearly not her. Let's look at this side-by-side picture here. Now, when you look at the nose of the person that they are claiming is now Ghislane Maxwell and the nose of the real Ghislane Maxwell, they are clearly different. The bridge of the nose is much wider, the nose itself is shorter, and it's cut off at the bridge, so she doesn't have that duckbill, kind of teardrop coming on down. The real Ghislane Maxwell does have that. And yes, it is true that as you age, your ears and your nose do continue to grow, though at an extraordinarily slow rate. They don't change composition that much. And the fact that her nose of the person that they're claiming is Ghislane Maxwell is smaller and wider than the original Ghislane Maxwell, that doesn't happen. I mean, that's physically impossible unless Ghislane Maxwell had a nose job in prison. Now, they try to give her a similar style haircut and throw some glasses on her because that'll distract everybody from the fact that the person that they're claiming is Ghislane Maxwell's eyes are also closer together than the real Ghislane Maxwell. They're also shaped differently. Again, these are biological traits that they don't really change over time that much. And for Ghislane Maxwell, it is pretty obvious that this is not the same person. Now, there's been a lot going on. Let's talk about the fact that there's viral pictures going around of Epstein in Tel Aviv, for example. Are these real? Well, France 24 have come out and said that these are fake videos, fake photos. They are not real. They are AI generated. But of course, everybody would say that. How do you actually prove any of these photos nowadays are real or not real? Because AI's photo capabilities is now on par with an actual photo. You really just can't tell the difference between real and AI generated in a photo anymore. It's still a little bit ability to do it in a video, but even that's getting more and more difficult to tell what's real and what's not. So the question remains, is Ghislane Maxwell actually in prison? And when did this change happen? Because if you look at this photo here, when she's actually in a maximum security jail cell or prison cell, that's the real Ghislane Maxwell. The face hasn't changed. That's her. And then they move her from this high security, maximum security prison down to basically a day camp where she gets to have a pet in her cell with her. And now you have a different Ghislane Maxwell. So the theory is that Ghislane Maxwell was swapped out for somebody who is pretending to be Ghislane Maxwell. And that person is probably not really in jail or in prison, only for show. But the cell is probably actually empty. And that's why they had to move her out of the maximum security and into this cush little one, because it would be easier to keep this type of a conspiracy under wraps. Now, that's the theory out there. I'm not saying that I agree with that or I believe in that, but when she was in maximum security, that was the real Ghislane Maxwell. Every picture, image, and deposition of her while she was in maximum security is clearly Ghislane Maxwell. Once they move her to the minimum security, it's game over. This is clearly not her. Look at this side profile of her in the car, and then you look at the troll of who they're trying to pretend is Ghislane Maxwell, and then you look at this image of Ghislane Maxwell when she was somewhere probably in her early 30s, late 20s. Like, the facial structure of this woman does not change. She doesn't all of a sudden have a flat chin. She doesn't have a flat nose. The lips are different. Look at Ghislane Maxwell, even when she's frowning, the lip structure and the mouth structure is different. And then the most damning evidence of all is the fact that when you look at the picture of Ghislane Maxwell and then her replica in glasses side by side, where the line is drawn at the base of the eyes and the ears, the head is in the same position. So it's not like the head is up here, which would then make it, different, right? You can see my ears and the line. It changes as I raise my head, but look how much I'd have to raise my head up in order for it to change that line. If you look at the line on the screen, Ghislane Maxwell's ears are below her bottom of her eyes, the fake one. But the real one, the ears are in line, and a part of them are sticking up because her head is looking straight forward. Both images, the head is straight forward. It's not tilted way up. It's not tilted way down. It is straight forward. The picture on the right is not Ghislane Maxwell. I guarantee it. They have swapped her out. And I don't know if this is because Donald Trump's getting ready to give a pardon, or they needed to get rid of her for some reason because she knew too much about Donald Trump. I don't really know why the switch has happened, but it clearly has happened. But the question is, after all of this evidence, what do you think? Do you think this is the real Ghislane Maxwell in prison right now? Or do you think she's been swapped out and they're trying to act like everybody in the world is just stupid and can't tell the difference between these two clearly different women? Drop your comments down below. You know what to do. Like, follow, all that type of stuff. Subscribe.